somebody that understands trigonometry and gets depressed a lot.
We're here about Walter.
What's your line?
We're agrarian nutritional consulting chemists. Easy now, Walter.
The airport just called the plant and says that Carmichael the bug catcher's on his way over. Now, how the hell did he find out?
What makes you think he did?
Just checked our traps. Now, we didn't ask him to come back and check them again. And nobody likes that job enough to do it on his own time, right?
Walter Carmichael does. Let's run down the road. I'll find out what he wants. You supposed to be on vacation? I thought you'd be really in Bonita by now.
I wish I was, Martin. Something came up. Checked with air services. They tell me you sprang malathion.
Yeah. Can't you smell it?
Well, sure, over half the county. I thought it was from the walnut groves. Till I ran into Rich Steck, told me he'd look at his irrigation pond. It's loaded with your spray. Why are you putting it on by air?
Oh, Walter, I know it's expensive, but the fruit looks so good and the price is going to be sky high. I just didn't want to take a last-minute chance of getting flies.
Ground spray is just as effective on citrus. You should have asked me.
As usual, Walter, as usual. But that's the end of it until next year. Does Steck think his pond is ruined or something?
Something. I've got samples to analyze before I can say what.
Walter, it's only malathion. Some of it ran down into his pond. I'm sorry. Why all the hoopla?
No hoopla. I'm just gonna collect some leaves and sap and so forth so I can run all my tests at the same time.
Well, you do that. Let me know what you find out.
What's the matter? We're doing fine.
Oh, only a hopeless glue-head would say that. I think I'm blind.
You always think you're blind. When Carlos brought over the pulque, you thought you were blind.
Look at that. It's eating a hole in the deck.
See here, you're not blind. Come on, 20 minutes and we're done.
Done for. If they sold this stuff any place but Tijuana, they have a skull and crossbones over it. Where's the ladder?
Ladder. Come on, Jay. Why should I buy this stuff up here and spend $20 more on it? Fiberglass solvent is fiberglass solvent. Not different than they make it in Mexico.
Yeah, well, different enough to melt a paintbrush. I'm sorry, Rick, but my life is worth a little bit more than a hole in your boat. Oh. Oh. Tell you what, I'm not only blind, I'm hallucinating. I'm smelling L'air du temps.
Mr. Simon?
Yeah, hi.
I can see that you're busy.
No, we're not busy. It's just that cheap solvent he's using on the boat. The fumes get us.
Do we know you, Miss,
I'm Hilda Carmichael. I don't live far. At the marina there, slip 18A.
Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah, the lady in the white Mercedes.
Right, white Mercedes, bingo. We should get to know our neighbors a little bit better. Would you care for a beer? Oh, we're out of... I could go get some beer.
Mine,
Mr. Maddox on the canal said that, you do private investigation work.
Yes, ma'am, that's right, we do.
Special rates for all girls next door.
That's not right, but we are competitive.
I don't care about the money. I just want you to find my husband, Walter Carmichael. He didn't come home last night.
Look, Hilda? I know it's kind of tough when it's your shot, but, our line of work, we see this kind of thing all the time, and one night is hardly grounds for panic.
Yeah, well, that's what the police said. That all men are prone to having a wild night out now and then. But my Walter isn't like most men. I think the best thing to do would probably be just to have you look around and maybe you could find something that would help.
Okay. Do you live aboard full-time?
Yeah, since Walter and I were married. The boat actually belonged to my first husband, but like me, it was just another one of his toys, and he really only used her for parties.
Did you divorce your first husband?
No, he drowned. He fell off the bow.
Hey, Jay.
Excuse me.
Why is this salesman traveling?
Walter is not a salesman. He's an agrarian nutritional consulting chemist. He's self-employed.
I suppose this is his lab smock.
I laid that out for him last night when he got to be so late, thinking that I'd fall asleep and he'd tiptoe in. And... See, Walter's on the road a lot. He goes to Carlsbad, Lompoc, up the coast to Monterey, and he's gone 3 weeks out of a month.
Well, if he's on the road so much, he must use his credit cards. It'd be a snap to find him.
Now, look, what I want to know is why they had dance over one night.
We were supposed to start our vacation yesterday. He was supposed to be home.
Well, you know, maybe he just got hung up somewhere and forgot to call. That happens.
I told you, don't judge Walter by other people. I know this sounds vain, But he lives to be with me, to make me happy. He'd never forget.
Okay, look, Hilda. Let's just consider this your free consultation, okay? Because if we took your case, it'd cost you a bunch. I'm talking $400
That's
a day.
fine. You can start looking up in Oxnard. That's where he was last week, the last time he called me.
No, see, you don't seem to understand. We also get mileage, 50 cents a mile, and we might have to drive all the way up to Monterey.
I don't care about the money. Look, if you understood about Walter, you'd know why I'm so worried. He'd never do this to me if he could help it. Unless he was in terrible trouble. Look, Walter's the type of man that's so much in love that even if he couldn't call me, he sent me flowers every day we've been married.
Every day?
For 5 years. These came this morning.
Well, you can stop worrying. If he's still sending you flowers, it won't be all that hard to find him.
So he's careful. Just because the guy has an automatic account with a florist doesn't mean he's insincere.
Oh, come on, AJ. The guy in the bank makes up the cards.
What was that noise?
Never mind the noise. Look at that. Come on. Now, you tell me that you honestly think that Walter is the rowdy red bathrobe type.
It doesn't make any difference what I think. She seems to think he is. Besides, according to her, his best qualities are not photogenic.
Well, you just study the face. That is not a lady killer. That's somebody that understands trigonometry and gets depressed a lot.
Come on. Just because Walter didn't take his senior prom date to the bullfights the way you did doesn't necessarily mean that he is not a virile, fulfilling partner. Just means he's not a romantic troglodyte. What are you worried about? We find Walter, we bring him home, it's easy money.
Messy job.
Oh, this is from a man who eats burritos in the shower. Where did you get this gas?
Tijuana.
Walter eats here a lot. I guess he likes the food. Isn't truck stop food supposed to be good?
You have never eaten in a truck stop?
No, not to my knowledge. Excuse me.
We'll get a couple of drafts down here, please.
How you doing? Like your hat.
Irrigation control. That, good work?
Steady. What's your line?
We're agrarian nutritional consulting chemists. You know, like Walter Carmichael?
Is that what you buck catchers are calling yourselves nowadays? Time for a tax cut, sounds to me. These, state inspectors are getting heirs, Jeffers.
New to me. Thought I knew all you ag boys.
Oh, well, we're new. This is our first day on the job, as a matter of fact.
Yeah. So far, so good.
What happened to Walter? If they fired him, they're crazy.
No. Walter's golden. They know that.
Besides, we'd never take his job away from him. He's got that pretty wife he has to support.
Wife? You got the wrong Carmichael, buddy. Walter is not married.
Well, maybe he doesn't talk about it, but you ought to see what he's got stashed down in San Diego.
Definitely the wrong guy.
Yeah, this Walter Carmichael's got nothing to do with San Diego. Lives right down the road in a damn motel, keeps a room there full time. Don't know why he bothers, though. He's got him north of Monterey about 3 weeks out of the month.
You hang around there until you see which way they go. By the way, what are you doing in a bar anyway?
So I broke the rules, so what? You ought to be damn glad I did. Besides, you try making all the way from Rumorosa without a beer.
Forget the beer. Let me know if you find out anything. I'll see what I can learn here. And Jeffries, stay out of the bars.
I wouldn't have to if you just get rid of them.
Jeffries, if we kill Walter, we'll have the police looking for us all the way to Sacramento. This way, Walter keeps us clean himself. Walter. Here, Walter. Walter. Good news. You're gonna be just fine, Walter. How do you feel?
What happened?
Nothing very grand, I'm afraid, Walter. You hit a tree. Terrible way to start a vacation. There's no point in moving you to a hospital. A few days rest here and you'll be on your feet. No, not now. You'll get your strength back and talk then. I've decreased the amount of sedative we were giving you to help you sleep. By the way, Walter, I've learned about your secret life in San Diego. You be thinking about that. I want to hear all about it.
Long drive.
Really?
Yeah.
$22.50 for a double. Checkout's at 11. If you're paying by credit card, I need to make an imprint.
Excuse me, Mindy. I suppose our friend Walter Carmichael already has a room?
Yes.
Oh, terrific. We can still surprise him. Mindy, can you keep a secret? See, the thing is, it's Walt's birthday, and we kind of wanted to grab him and take him out for a night on the town.
What town?
It's a figure of speech, Mindy. Now, if you'll just tell us what the room number is, we'll just sneak right on up there. And you know how old Walt likes to joke, and guys shouldn't have to spend his birthday alone, especially in Oxnard. Or, Snarkville. That's what you call it up here, isn't it?
Look, I'm sorry, Mr. Abba Dabba Dabba Dabba. But Mr. Carmichael never wishes to be disturbed. Besides, he's not here.
I struck out, you try.
Mindy, would you do me a favor? Now, we haven't missed a birthday with old Walt since the Army. Would you just do me a favor, and when he comes in, just be sure and give him this. Because I know how much he'd hate to miss us.
Who wouldn't?
My contact. I think that little yellow one got it.
There! You're gonna kill the fish!
You got it? Any luck?
No.
Whoop, 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 whoop. Never mind. I just stepped on it. Here it is. There you go. Thank you very much.
It's the wrong room.
Right, wrong. Well, just because he pays for it doesn't mean he has to use it.
People use motel rooms for some strange things. Says A first.
Hello. Oh, at least we know he's been here.
Oh, great. He comes in to change his shorts and listen to his messages.
This is Walter Carmichael. I'm not here. You can leave a message at the tone.
I got a message for you. Walter, phone home.
This is Rich Steak again, Walter. I found 2 more, and this time they're dead. I'm really starting to worry because I don't know who's next, so call me as soon as you can, will you, at 555-2010. Thank you, Walter.
Mr. Stack?
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Rex Simon. It's my brother AJ. We called you from the ranch house inn.
Oh, yeah.
Hi. How you doing?
Why are you looking for Walter? Friends of his?
No, actually, we don't know him. We're working for his wife. She's worried about him.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm a friend of his, and I'm worried about him, too. He was out here yesterday morning. I haven't been able to reach him since.
Well, we spoke to his office up in Sacramento. They seem to think he's starting a 2-week vacation, but his wife hasn't heard from him.
Is this something he does? I mean, has he dropped out like this before?
Well, I guess you don't know Walter. Walter's regular as rain. He's either out on the road or out in the boat with his wife. I tried every number I got for him, and he gave me a couple he never gave anybody else, but first time since I known him, Walter's lost.
We had the opportunity to listen to the message he left on his machine in Oxnard. You said something about finding 2 more, and this time they're dead. Would you care to fill us in on that?
Yeah. It's, when, you work for Pritchard?
No.
Who's Pritchard?
Well, I guess you gotta ask him. Hell, you ain't working for him. Pritchard grows. Agribiz, Agricor, big money from who knows where. I'm sure you've seen their ads. A natural way. Hell, you probably eat their food. I guess everybody does. They bought up half the citrus between here and Monterey. The oranges and lemons and quats. You know, one of the groves borders mine right here. I never did like them. Now I know why.
I don't get the connection, though. What does Pritchard have to do with dead sheep?
Well, it was just sheep, you know. I think it'd be blue tongue, pastorella, something like that. But it was the chickens first, then all my bees left.
And I found them two this morning. I want Walter to see to confirm it.
Confirm what?
Well, the spray, it's killing animals.
How do the sheep get into the spray?
Well, I use them to graze the grass down in the groves, you know, and naturally they drink the water that runs into the irrigation pool. You know, goats would be cheaper, but they like to sharpen them horns on the tree trunks.
Makes sense, but if the spray is doing in your sheep, why do you use it?
Oh, well, I ain't using it. It's whatever Pritchard's spraying on his fruit that's running into my pond. And Walter thinks so, too.
Well, as soon as we find Walter, we'll tell him about this, of course. Have him get in touch.
All right.
Here you go. Here's our number in case you turn anything up, and if for any reason you can't get a hold of us, you can just leave a message with his wife down in San Diego.
What's she doing down there?
Well, it's where they live. Remember we were just talking about their boat?
No, we weren't. We were talking about the boat at the Oxnard Marina. That's where they live. Well, I ought to know. It's docked right next to mine. I think one of us is confused.
I think two of us are confused. Well, it's not an uncommon way to name a boat.
I sometimes worry about your inability to deal with life. Must be terrible being the second child.
Look, I'm sorry. I'm just a slave to common sense. You know what I mean? And I have yet to find a shred of it to explain why it's worth it to Walter to keep both the motel room and a boat in Oxnard.
All right, now wait a minute. Wait, hey. I am willing to bet you next month's payment on the Chevy.
No, you won't.
Well, why not?
Because you still owe me last month's payment on the Chevy and this month's payment.
Fine. This month's payment on the Chevy, that behind that door is yet another Mrs. Walter Carmichael who is built like a...
Oh, that.
Mrs. Carmichael?
Yes, I'm Gloria Carmichael.
We're here about Walter.
Could we talk to you for a few minutes, please?
Yeah. Okay. Come on in.
Is it Walter? Have you found him yet?
Well, in a manner of speaking,
Who's she?
Well, remember we told you that it was somebody we thought that you should meet? Remember? Yeah.
Mrs. Carmichael, meet,
Mrs. Carmichael. Well, why don't we all sit down and we'll get to the bottom of this?
Yeah. Why don't I start? See, the thing is, it seems that Walter is married to, both of you.
That's impossible.
Well, nobody likes to admit these things, but, you know, sometimes it happens.
You're lying. She's lying, somebody's lying. But it is all lies.
We wish it were. We really do. But I think that you'll agree that under the circumstances, the best thing that we can do is just face the fact.
Shut up!
This is, your husband, right? And, your husband? It's, same man. I'm going on record as saying that this is a stupid idea. Not only that, this is your stupid idea.
We couldn't very well just say your husband's a bigamist, have a nice day, and leave her in Oxnard, could we?
My Walter writes me a new poem every morning and brings it to me with a champagne breakfast.
My Walter and I never have breakfast until after we've jogged. I don't like champagne or poetry, and neither does he.
My Walter talks in his sleep.
My Walter sings in his sleep.
My Walter asked for my hand even before my husband's estate was out of probate.
My Walter asked for my hand before my first husband was even buried.
My Walter insisted we spend our honeymoon at sea.
He did. Did he also make a big deal out of renaming the boat after you?
Yeah.
You know, I'm beginning to change my mind about Walter. I mean, a guy could do worse than study his technique.
Which technique? I mean, technique with the ladies? Or with their former and currently dead husbands?
Oh, come on, AJ. There is no reason to jump to that particular conclusion.
Just coincidence?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Massive coincidence.
Uh-huh. Oh, now.
You have a handkerchief?
Are you kidding?
There. Now, ladies, listen. I know you've had a terrible shock, but you can take consolation in the fact that since Walter is a bigamist, he's going to have to pay a heavy fine and go to jail.
No! Well, no, that's not all. I mean, you've both got really juicy grounds for divorce. You can clean his plow.
You don't understand.
Well, of course, it's not as personal for us, but, well, the law is clear.
The law? Somebody else's rules? We can't even think about that until you bring Walter back. Find him.
No. See, not us. You have got his hide nailed to the barn door on a bigamy rack.
We do not.
Yes, you do.
Yeah, look, what we're trying to say is that Walter has committed a crime. So now the police will find him. You don't have to pay us another nickel.
What I mean is we can't worry about the bigamy now. The main thing is he's in trouble.
So please, just find Walter and bring him back to us safe.
We don't want the police.
And we don't want fines or divorces.
We just want Walter. We miss him.
miss him myself.
Walter, I happen to know you're perfectly awake, so let's not try to pretend with each other. Walter, this accident might be a lot more serious than we first thought. As a matter of fact, it could be very, very serious. I'd really hate to have to give you more stimulant, Walter. Your heart beats faster, palpitations. You can hardly breathe.
All right, man. What's going on?
Did you send any of those samples into the lab? Good. We saved them for you. And I think when you have them analyzed, Walter, you're going to find out that I was telling you the truth. You're not going to find anything except melathion.
Of course. You fixed that.
Who's to say? The point is, those samples are the only proof you've got of your story. And if you treasure your job, Walter, those samples had better match your story. True?
You're going to have to let me up sooner or later. Then how are you going to explain this?
I won't have to. Walter, you ran into a tree. You were crazy. You were high. You were... You told me you were going on vacation, Walter. There'd be nobody to notify of the accident. Nobody to miss you. And then I find out that you're married. You've got a wife, Walter. In Oxnard. True? True, Walter? Hit him again. We've got all night.
What do you call deja vu when you really have done it all before?
Walter Carmichael's love life.
Walter may be dull, but he's an organizer. I'll bet we find his pattern in Monterey's about the same as Oxnard.
This is not a man who enjoys a simple life.
Say what you will, Walter did it his way. Oh, why is it doing that again? We burned the last of the Mexican gas out of here yesterday.
I think their refining techniques do permanent damage to the engine.
No. It's possible to run an engine on their gas with no problem at all. All depends on how you tune your mill. For instance, that guy up there just drove up all the way from Baja, and he's still going strong.
How do you know?
For one thing, you can see him. He's not enveloped in a cloud of smoke.
No, I mean, how do you know he drove up all the way from Baja?
Mexican tax. Boy, for a professional, you let a lot of stuff slip right by you.
I saw that. But I also saw that he's wearing one of those orange Pritchard hats. And I don't think they do business in Mexico.
Looks to me like we got ourselves another,
Mrs. Carmichael?
Yes, I'm Eva Carmichael.
Admiration for the guy just keeps growing, AJ. I can't help it.
area was so long. We're just moving aboard, and it takes me forever to find anything.
So you're just married, huh? I mean, so soon after your first husband's death?
I suppose it does seem that way, but Jerome and I really were man and wife for years. Well, now I'm a blushing bride all over again. Walter's still showing me how to sail.
You wouldn't by any chance have a beer around, would you?
No, I don't. Walter doesn't believe in strong drink. He says it dulls the senses.
Thank you.
And he has exquisite senses.
So we hear.
From whom?
Well, his other, acquaintances. The important thing right now, though, is to find Walter, right?
I would be so grateful. I just miss him like the dickens.
Well, suppose you start by telling us where you saw him last.
It was right here. He just went out one night and he never came back.
It was a couple of days ago.
Something had been on his mind. I mean, he wouldn't tell me what. 2 or 3 nights in a row, he'd taken long drives. To think, he said.
To rest.
Beg your pardon?
Do you have any idea where he was going? Richard Groves?
Why would he go there?
Well, we think that maybe he was trying to prove that they were spraying poison on their oranges.
Why would that keep him from coming home?
From 7 to 12.
Ah, well, we're not looking for jobs. Looking for Walter Carmichael. Is he around?
Oh, well, you have to ask in administration. Now, you go up here and you turn right. You'll see a yellow line. Follow it, but don't get off the main road. It's for your own safety.
Thank you.
Of course, I was just flabbergasted. Walter and I have been crossing paths for years. Now, all of a sudden, he tells me he's married. It's quite a surprise.
Oh, Walter's just full of surprises.
I've been calling that woman in Oxnard since last night. Still no answer.
Well, this is the one we know about.
Pardon?
Tell us about the accident.
Oh, the accident. Well, unfortunately, it was all Walter's fault. Now, you combine that accident with his secret marriage, and I imagine that, well, his fitness may be in doubt. I'd hate to see that.
Is this, old shipment from Mexico?
Oh, yes, I think it is. Zexan's made there.
Zexan? Oh, yeah, sure. That's the stuff you spray around here, isn't it?
No, of course. No, of course not. No. The only thing that Zexan is legal for is to treat fruit that's being shipped to Mexico or the third world countries, and we do that in a sealed chamber. We can't spray the stuff. Strictly Schedule 2.
I beg your pardon?
Not approved for domestic use.
Ah.
Day before yesterday, we found Walter's truck smashed up in one of our groves. Why he was there, who knows? I've noticed he hasn't been quite himself lately.
How bad is he hurting?
He looks worse than he is. He's not suffering. All he does is sleep.
That man should be in a hospital. Any injury to the head like that warrants close observation, x-rays.
Well, we have the finest equipment. The x-rays were normal. He's under constant supervision. But, say, if his wife wants him in a hospital or home, you just say the word. But let's get out of here. Let's not disturb him anymore. How's the hand, Fred?
Pretty near healed, Mr. Donlevy.
Well, you take it easy. Don't rush things.
Oh. 8,000 acres.
Directly adjacent to the plant. It's the key to our image. We personally supervise the natural harvest of every one of our food products. You've probably seen our TV ads. They're all true. Gentlemen?
Thank you.
Pick yourself some oranges on the way out. Be my guest.
Thanks.
God's name did you take him to see Carmichael?
Because there's no good reason to hide him now. Carmichael's been acting more and more like a nut. If he wants to save his job, he won't make a sound about Zexan. He'll be our friend for life.
Carmichael's not the problem. There goes the problem. Those two are rock turners.
Well, I seriously doubt if they can turn over the right rocks before we're in the clear. In 2 days, our trees will be completely plucked clean. Zexan will be all evaporated. And we've got Carmichael's samples. We're in the clear, kid. We're in the clear.
They're drowning this fruit in that Zexan junk. Don't ask me why I'd be that stupid.
Oh, Donlevy just told us why. Image. This whole county was eaten up by medflies, but look at this fruit. It's beautiful. Stuff must work.
Oh, yeah. Nails and flies. And the bees and the sheep and probably us. We're ready to. Hello.
Another day, another load of Zexan.
Not our business.
Yeah.
Besides, Pritchard knows what they're doing.
How much of this stuff do you suppose we've sprayed so far?
Let's see. We got 5 trucks. It's 20 drums a truck. It's 50 gallons to
Rick. That's a real fine job you boys do. You just carry on. We'll be in the area all day, so
Get the plane. Go after him.
awful, hideous, mutating things you suppose sex sand does to your body.
We don't know that was sex sand.
Oh, come on. It tastes like something called sex sand. As a matter of fact, it tastes just like your fiberglass solvent.
Suppose they found the power wagon by now.
Hi.
Something I can do for you?
Well, as a matter of fact, yeah.
Hey, tell those guys to check in. Hey, what's wrong with you guys?
You know, I was thinking about it. There's probably that law enforcement up here.
It's a good thing to keep in mind because right now we are probably on their bad side.
Got it?
I just hope that Walter can prove whatever it is that you're going to prove about this sex. Hey, easy now, Walter. Easy.
We're on your side. We're friends of Hilda's.
And Gloria's and Eva's.
And they all miss you like the Dickens.
I should have guessed they were spraying Zexan. Those idiots. The fruit's no good.
Don't seem to mind that, Walter.
Zexan is unstable.
So are you, Walter.
It decomposes in 48 hours, and you can't prove it was ever sprayed. Don Levy told me he doctored my samples. We need new ones.
It's all been taken care of, Walter. You got him?
Yes, I got him.
There's one of them.
Through here, Walter. Come on. That's it. That's it, Walter. Come on. Let's go. Whoa. Okay, Walter, come on. You're gonna have to help me out here now. Come on. Let's get your feet going. Put your feet up. Walter, come on. Help me out. But this step is for Gloria. Gloria. That's it. That's it. Put your foot up. That's step for Gloria. Hildy. Eva.
Eva.
Gloria.
Gloria.
Hildy.
Hilda.
Eva.
Eva. Barbara. Gloria. Hilda.
This way, Walter. Come on. Let's go. Okay, Walter. Here. Hold it.
You vandalized my plant. You're trying to abduct a sick man. Now come on down before it gets worse.
Worse for whom? You or me? You're holding this man here against his will because he's gonna blow the whistle on you. You've soaked your grooves in Zexan, the natural way.
Absolutely not. You'll never prove that.
You might be wrong there, because we took you up on your invitation. We picked a few oranges, nice, fresh ones. And we got plenty of time to get them to the laboratory.
But first, you gotta get out of here.
Hope they're letting the poor man get some rest.
Maybe it's too early to barge in.
No. They'll want this news. Yep, he's getting a lot of rest, okay.
Come on, Gloria, open it up. You can have him all to yourself later on. Atta girl.
Oh, that's wonderful. Yes. Oh.
Hi, folks.
Hi, Walter.
Well, hello.
Hey, them, no, never mind, sweetie. We'll send them
Oh,
packing.
now this is the thanks we get.
Hey, come on, ladies, just give us a break. We just want to talk to Walter man to man.
All right, we'll go wait for you in the hot tub, but don't be long.
So, Walter, how you feeling?
I'm a little bushed.
I shouldn't wonder. I mean, you know, you've been through quite an ordeal.
Walter, the reason we're here, we got good news and we got bad news.
Now, the good news is you are not a murderer.
Yeah.
We checked it out. There's no way in the world you could have killed any one of their former husbands.
Well, I could have told you that.
Well, the bad news is, you're a bigamist. Twice over.
Are you going to report me?
We thought about it.
Then we hit on an alternative plan. Yeah, see, what's going to make you happy and make them happy is also going to make us happy. Of course, if you ever decide to go straight, I'll be more than happy to take any one of them off your hands.
Well, that's a more generous offer than you imagine. Frankly, the three of them together are quite a handful. I'm kind of looking forward to getting back on the road.
What, on US 101?
Oh, I enjoy it. There's so much to
Walter,
do.
no. Walter, don't tell us what it is you find to do. I don't want to know.
Walter, well, we need to talk to you some more.
Oh, we can still talk. There's plenty of room.
Oh, Walter. Oh, come on in, honey. The water's fine, sugar.